Hey friends, Colleen here. Today I am making a beautiful vellum floral wedding card for my best friend who got married in July. So I made this card quite a bit ago, but I'm just getting around to putting this video together. So I'm using the Floral Arches bundle from the Greetery. This is the perfect set for creating wedding cards, and honestly I think this is my fourth or fifth card I've made for a friend's wedding using this set. It comes with stamps, stencils, and dies, and it makes it super easy to put together a gorgeous card. So I'm going to be starting with ink blending. All of the stencils line up really easily. They have little markings in each corner so you can line it up with an A2 size card front. And then I'm just using some inks from, this is from Pigment Craft Co. They have beautiful sage greens that I absolutely love, and the blending brushes I'm using are from the Stamp Market. So I'm just doing very light blending. I want this to be very pastel. I don't want bright and bold. I want it to be nice and soft and blended together. So I'm going to turn on some music. I'm going to go through all the different layering of this floral arch. Once I do the leaves, all of the rest of the flowers I think are all Concord and 9th inks. I will have all of the colors I use linked down in the description below, along with all the other products. So go ahead and check that out, and I will come back once I move on to the next step.
Running wild on this whole night, sitting by the traffic light zone. I don't know if I should go.
stenciling is done, so now I'm moving on to stamping. Similarly to the stencils, these are layering stamps, so each flower has little details that you can stamp on. I'm doing basically just the same, what is it called, tone-on-tone stamping, so I'm just using the same ink I blended with to stamp it. When you stamp it, it is going to be a little bit darker, so it will stand out. And some of them I double stamped or triple stamped so that it really was, the shadows were really emphasized. Some of them I just stamped once, so it's really your preference. Like I said, I am using multiple stamps in my MISTI at one time to save time, just to make things a little bit more efficient. So I will go ahead and stamp these all out. The next step is to die cut out my arch. You could have die cut the arch before doing all the ink blending if that makes it easier for you to line it up. Or you can just keep it as one piece. It would be a beautiful one-layer card, but I do want to add some dimension. So I'm cutting out the outline of the floral arch, and then this set also comes with just a simple frame arch for the middle. So you can make this into a floral arch frame. I just think that's so lovely. It's really easy to line up, so this is what we're working with. Now I'm moving on to my card base, which is going to be vellum. Jennifer McGuire has many videos on making vellum cards, so if you're interested in this technique and learning more, you can definitely check out her channel. Also, I'm going to link in the top right corner here to my previous video where I made a different version of a vellum card, so check that out as well. My card base is A2 size, so it is 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it at 4.25. I am putting this into my MISTI because I am going to use a background stamp. So I took out the foam pad that is in the bottom of the MISTI so that I can use this rubber stamp. And I'm actually going to be heat embossing on my vellum. So I'm going in with an anti-static powder tool to prep my vellum, and then I'm using Versamark ink, which will be nice and sticky for my embossing powder to stick to. I don't know if you can heat emboss on all vellums. I would assume you cannot. I just kind of hoped that I could, and did. So I used silver embossing powder. I love how this looks. It's so elegant. I love the frosty, like, I don't know what to call that, frosty finish, and the silver metallic on top is really beautiful. So that's just a great way to add some detail to your card. Now I'm going to be popping up my floral arch frame using foam tape, which I'm cutting into a whole bunch of itty bitty pieces to then stick onto my card. You could, well, I was going to say you could just die cut out multiple cardstock floral arch frames. I think the tricky part would just be lining up the arch the same exact way each time. So I do think it's easier to just use foam tape in this case rather than layering cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and, now that I have this all foamified, remove the release paper and go ahead and stick that down. I love this process. You know, when you see like TikTok videos of them just like doing soothing things, removing release paper is that for me. So I hope you enjoy this moment. Okay, now this is going onto my card front, and then I think I'll be working on the sentiment next. Just kidding, I'm not working on the sentiment. I am adding layers. I'm adding a background. I don't know what to call this, but basically I cut out the floral arch again so that I can layer it behind that front piece of vellum so that it's not ugly on the inside. And now I'm working on the sentiment. So I just use the congrats word Let's Have a Word Congrats. I don't remember what this is called. It's from the Greetery. Things are going too fast for me to explain now, but I use metal. LOL. I didn't use metal. I used silver metallic paper, cardstock, and I layered it twice with white cardstock so that this has a metallic look, the word, and it's a bit thicker. And then I just glued it to my frame, so it is kind of popped up, but not really. Now I heat embossed a sentiment onto this arch, and I'm lining it up so that it's on the inside of my card and lines right up with the central arch of the card front. The vellum is like frosted enough that you don't see this directly through it. Like, I don't think it takes away from the frosted effect. So there's a nice sweet sentiment on the inside, and then I'm going to add another arch onto the back of the card where I can write a more personalized sentiment. Adding all of these layers of cardstock on the front and the back of the card also adds structural integrity to the vellum, because vellum is obviously not as thick as paper and does need a little bit of support. This is my card. I feel like that went super fast. There was a lot of brain power that went into this card, and I'm really proud of how it turns out. I think it's absolutely lovely, and I'll probably be making something similar again in the future. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will be back soon with some more crafty inspiration. Thanks so much.